Hello, welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie, and I'm gonna shake up some of my mom fuel this afternoon. I'm gonna share with you why I like it. We're gonna talk about two, I guess you could say, problems that let's say 50% of people are facing. And that's probably underestimating. But two things I wanna talk about. We're gonna shake up some ketones. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? I'm tuning in from Florida. It's a beautiful day, and I'm shaking up my afternoon mom fuel a little later than I wanted to, but it has been a busy day around here. I'm a mom of 4 girls. We homeschool. I drink ketones to keep me focused, to help me with my energy. I joke with people and I say I haven't taken a nap in over 8 years. So I was introduced to ketones from my husband 8 years ago. He handed me a packet. He said, put it in some water, shake it up, drink it. And he goes, in under an hour, you're going to feel amazing. And I remember thinking to my husband, all right, I was super skeptical, but he loved the ketones. He understood the ketone conversation. He understood that when ketones were present in your body, it helped you with your energy and your fat loss and your focus, and you just felt amazing. So I took my packet, I shook it up, I drank it, and that day I didn't need a nap. And if you would have met me 8 years ago or before, you would have known, if you were my friend, that I needed a nap every single day. I was tired, I had crazy brain fog. And so all I want you to know today is I drink ketones. I have every single day for 8 years. It is a tool that I use to put me in ketosis. You don't have to be strict keto. It tastes great. You feel great. It's going to help you make better decisions for your fat loss journey. Now, if you're already drinking ketones, what's your favorite flavor? Tell me below. I would love to know. And I've got a new one in the mail. And just for today, I have a super fun little trial pack sale. So if you want to know more about the trial packs, I've got some new seasonal flavors in. If you just want to give it a shot and you want to know why they're so great, how they can help you, because all of us have different goals, just post trial in the comments and we'll chat. Now, outside of this, there's 2 things I've learned in the last probably 24 to 48 hours. And I got to hear Dr. Ryan speak. He came to Cancun with us, and he was he's one of the formulators of these ketones. And he was sitting in a room, there was a couple hundred of us, and he was chatting about the power of ketones. And he said, hey, ketones are incredible. They help with muscle preservation. And he says things like longevity and brain fuel. And he goes, here's what I need you to know. And this is where it shocked me. And I knew that obesity has been a problem, is currently a problem all over the world. But he says what people don't realize is in the next, I think he said 7 to 8 years, if not before, 50% of the world is going to be obese. And he was like, it is, we talk about a whole bunch of other medical things in people's health journey that we hear all the time, but he goes, obesity is really there's 2 things I'm gonna talk about. Number 1 is obesity. And he said, how do you fix it? How do you help people with their fat loss journey? And so I wrote a couple things down, but I really thought if people really knew that it's almost to the 50% mark, doesn't it make you go, how do we fix that? How do we help people? Part of the Keto Mom page, the reason that we started this page was just to simply help you with recipes. And my husband and I talked about this years ago, and we said, we want to help people live healthy, faith-filled lives. Our goal is to help you live a healthy, faith-filled life. What does that look like? And so it leads me into my next, let's just say, problem. And listen, I'm not going to talk about political problems or financial. We could talk a lot about that. We could talk about stuff that's going on in different countries. I'm talking about 2 things that are affecting the average person, not only in America, but around the world. So number 1 is obesity, and number 2 is loneliness. And I listened to an incredible message yesterday on the airplane, and the lady that was talking said, and actually she quoted a governor or somebody that said, hey, we're in a crazy, I can't remember the word he used, but he said more people than ever are lonely. They're doing life by themselves, which causes people to go into a dark space. And so what we started doing on this page is not only helping you with your health and fitness, But something that my husband and I realized was so important was to help you with your mindset, to go through books, to create a community. Because if you're doing life by yourself, you're going to find yourself in that lonely category, in that space where you're like, it's only me, nobody cares. I talked about a mind shift. I'm going through this book right now. If you haven't seen it, I go back to the other lives. I have a YouTube called Keto Mom. You can go watch all of the other lives that I've done. And in this book we talked about this morning, we talked about the power of, are you going to do life by yourself? Are you putting a ceiling on your life? Some of the things we've talked about is it just you? Are you blaming other people from your past? Are you going into this space where you run these lies in your head and you think you're not worth it, nobody cares, and you kind of divert back to just being you, which then causes people to eat and causes people to eat out of emotions or sadness or stress because there's no hope. And I want to tell you, there is hope. Why? Because you were made on purpose, you were made for a purpose. And the point I really want to make is there's a lot of people that are unhealthy. It might be you. There's a lot of people that are lonely. That might be you as well. And neither of those have to be you. You can eat, not easily, no matter what, it's going to take work, right? If your goal is to work on your fat loss, guess what? I'm here to help you. I will help you understand how to eat. We're not going to be perfect. We're going to eat better. I'm going to help you understand, like, if you want a tool to help you, I drink ketones. Some of you love coffee. Some of you drink a ridiculous amount of energy drinks. Listen, you drink coffee, I drink ketones. You drink energy drinks or sugary filled things, I drink ketones. This helps me, whatever helps you, but this will help you. So I will tell you this. I'll help you with how much water you should drink. I'll help you understand the power of sleep, and let's work on your stress. We can get you to where you want to go. How are you going to do that? By working on the loneliness part, plugging into a community, working on your mindset, reading books, like letting me help you, asking people for help. The power of the ask, it's super important. If you're doing life by yourself, the likelihood of you getting to where you think you want to go is probably unlikely. And if you go, all right, how do I get out of this dark space? What are the first things I have to work on? You get out of the dark space by making the choice to not be by yourself, finding a local community, joining a club or a group or something that excites you, going for walks, getting out in your neighborhood, getting some fresh air, calling a friend, meeting them for coffee, joining a youth group or a church group or a life group or something to get around people, even online community. Do I think community in person is important? 100%. If you don't have it yet, plug into the Keto Mom page. Friend some people that comment. Get to know each other. Some of you are on here every single live, and I see you, and I think it's amazing. Your presence matters. And did you know that if you see your name and somebody else's name, you can click on the names and you can friend each other, and you can go, hey, I see you on the Keto Mom page. I'm from Minnesota. I'm from Florida. Tell me your story. Here's my story. You can create some connection online. I think it's more important to get with people, but I'd rather have you talking to people online than talking to nobody. So we're going to help you with that. Part of what I was doing in Cancun was I was connecting to our team. We were meeting together. We were talking about business and life and doing life together. If you want to know more about our community that's around ketones, that has to do with not just selling ketones. Some people will say to me, well, I want to be a promoter, but I don't think I can sell something. And I'll say this, listen, being a promoter means to me, you love ketones or you want to know more about that. And if you want to share it with somebody else, that's awesome. But there's an entire other side of being a promoter on my team that has to do with self-development, meeting in person, your personal growth, friendships, the company pours into you, the education that we receive. It's like a group of people moving together that are like-minded that don't want to do life by themselves. So if you're like, hey, I'd love to know more about being a promoter. I'm not quite sure if I want to sell something. Listen, you don't have to sell anything. I will help you if you ever have the chance and somebody were to say, hey, Sarah, what are these ketones? And I'll say, hey, send this. Like, we work together. So here's what I want you to know. If you're looking for community, welcome to the Keto Mom page. I would encourage you to look for something in your local area. I also would encourage you that if you're already loving ketones, if you want an opportunity to travel with me, to travel with us, to be educated around the ketone conversation, post promoter in the comments and we'll chat. And if your goal is fat loss, whether you're brand new or you've been here for a while, plug into this page because I'm going to start something. My husband doesn't even know it because it just popped into my mind. So I'm going to start November 1st, a 10-day fat loss masterclass. What does that look like? I'm going to give you a solid 10 days of education. It's going to be around ketones. There's one stipulation. You have to be drinking ketones. If you don't have them now, you're going to get them. If you already have them, you're going to be in them. I'm going to do it in my private group. We're going to talk about a recipe of the day. We're going to do education on what ketones are. I'm going to just answer your questions. I'll do a live. We'll do a Q&A. Like, we can do all of this. I'm going to give you some basic steps, things you should work on every single day, not to overwhelm you. But if you can do these basic steps every single day, we'll work on it for 10 days. We'll see how it goes. I'll have you check in. We'll give some prizes away. Those who check in every single day, we've got some water bottles. We've got some ketones. Like, we can do some fun things. If you want to be a part of the Fat Loss Masterclass, post Masterclass in the comments. I would love to have you join us. And I promise you, it won't be overwhelming. I'm going to help you, guide you, keep it simple. We're going to do it together, and that's part of the community as well. So I want to say this. Thank you for tuning in. There's a couple things I asked you to do. If you've never tried ketones and you want to post trial below, I'm going to give you some videos to learn. We're going to work together. If you want to be a part of the community already and you're loving them, post promoter. Or if you want to be a part of the masterclass, if you want all things, just post masterclass and we're going to chat about all things. So I want to say thank you for tuning in. Don't let the obesity take you out. Don't let the loneliness take you out. I can help you in both of those areas. It's not easy. It takes work, but we can do it together. Thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.